Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Here are today's top stories. FAA Airworthiness Directive. Boeing 737 operators must update thermal procedures. NTSB Preliminary Report. Regional Jet Hard Landing Event DCA 26MA161. Pilot dispute over Torrance arrival allegedly disrupts LAX departures. Aero to debut integral Aerobatic trainer at AirVenture 2026. Now for the details. The Federal Aviation Administration issued an Emergency Airworthiness Directive July 21, 2026, requiring Boeing 737-8, 737-9, and 737-8200 operators to adopt immediate procedural changes after crews reported uncontrolled high temperatures in the cabin and flight deck that existing checklists could not manage. The FAA traced the root cause to a specific Standby Power Control Unit, SPCU, circuit breaker. Under the directive, operators must revise their airplane flight manuals to include non-normal procedures for instances where the breaker trips, giving crews a defined response path before conditions deteriorate. The agency stopped short of ordering fleet groundings, emphasizing targeted procedural and maintenance fixes over broad withdrawal from service. The directive affects the entire 737 MAX family, the 8, Mani 9, Top, and Nidus 8200 variants, and applies to all operators regardless of route network. Although the FAA did not name specific carriers, the mandate requires prompt manual updates to maintain crew safety. The action is the latest in a series of heightened FAA oversight measures for the Boeing 737 aircraft family, which has faced sustained scrutiny over structural and systems integrity in recent years. The NTSB on July 22, 2026, released its preliminary report on a regional jet hard landing that occurred July 5, 2026, providing the first official account of the incident. NTSB Accident Record DCA 26MA161 documents initial findings covering approach conditions, touchdown forces, and resulting airframe damage, data points that have drawn immediate attention from pilots, safety analysts, and aviation professionals. The report stops short of assigning probable cause, as is standard for preliminary NTSB filings. Investigators are continuing to analyze flight data recorder output and crew statements to determine whether stabilized approach deviations, mechanical factors, or other variables contributed to the hard landing. The agency noted that all preliminary findings remain subject to revision as the investigation progresses. The release has generated significant search activity among aviation professionals seeking a centralized, readable account of the event. ANN will update coverage as the NTSB advances toward its final determination. A confrontation between a private pilot and air traffic controllers has raised concerns about operational safety in Southern California airspace. Audio recordings published by aviation channel Captain Steve capture the pilot of a Cessna Citation V, registration N30CV, repeatedly challenging ATC instructions during a routine arrival into Torrance, Calif. The dispute reportedly escalated when the pilot allegedly declared an emergency to secure a wider approach path, a move that temporarily suspended departures at Los Angeles International Airport to accommodate the aircraft. The exchange also allegedly involved a conflict with an ABX Air Boeing 767 cargo aircraft, and the confrontation reportedly continued on the ground after the pilot refused to provide a contact number to controllers. The FAA has not issued a formal statement regarding the N30CV incident. The event comes amid broader operational stress at LAX, where the agency has acknowledged ground stops tied to air traffic controller staffing shortages. It remains unclear whether the incident prompted formal enforcement action or whether the reported departure suspension was a direct consequence of the pilot's emergency declaration. Aero will showcase the Integral R, a two-seat aerobatic trainer, at EAA AirVenture 2026 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The French manufacturer plans to conduct aerobatic demonstration flights July 20th through 21st. With the aircraft displayed near the International Aerobatic Club Pavilion. Already certified in Europe, the Integral R is making its high-profile U.S. appearance as Aero signals progress toward FAA certification. The company operates a U.S. base in Daytona Beach, Florida. The aircraft is powered by a Lycoming AEIO 390 engine and features a Garmin G3X avionics suite. Built for demanding aerobatic work, the Integral R is rated to 7.5 G and cruises at 150 knots with a range of 530 nautical miles. A whole aircraft parachute system is standard equipment. Aero says the AirVenture demonstrations are intended to raise the aircraft's profile among U.S. buyers and professional flight training organizations. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.